Let's do it. 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 Let's. Oh, yo. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Damn, I forgot my damn intro. Oh. It's your boy Professor Pippy back in this bitch on I Trade the Agent trying to get active, trying to get live. I don't know why I keep messing up the intro, bro. It's just, but either way, we back at it. We back at it. We back at it. We back at it. Yeah, was completely jammed up last week. Was not able to get any video footage out. 2 weeks ago, we was getting clapped in the market. So about Tuesday or Wednesday, I kind of shut it down as far as trading because for me, if I feel like I'm behind the market and I'm not catching all potential opportunities the correct way, then I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna stay out, and I don't got a problem with that. So 2 weeks ago, yeah, I got slapped a few times back to back, and then I was just like, okay, you know what? That's it. But then last week, I was inside of you. Last week, we made it do what it do. I took some shorts, some longs. I captured all my profits. I got active in the market with you. No, I'm just tripping. But yeah. So coming into this week was a week that I wanted to increase lot size. Potentially specifically because my account is growing now, and I have also been able to put more funds into my personal account. I don't trade with prop firms because previously the rules that they had was just ridiculous. You got to make so much amount of money in so much amount of time. Well, for me, when you look at that format, you pretty much rushing. And if you ain't getting in the best possible trades, or if you ain't letting the market come to you, then when you feel that 30-day constriction on your back, it might make you jump in the market and attack when you shouldn't be attacking. So, like I said, I put my own money in, I trade my own bread. And when I start losing my own bread, then I get out. But last week, was potentially looking to start increasing lots, and we did increase lots right up in her. I do not have a video breakdown, so I hope everybody out in YouTube land, anybody watching this video, can see these screens. I got my Telegram chart up now. But yeah, so right up in here, this first initial sale as the market opened up, I increased a lot on that thing. But unfortunately, as this little blue candle right up in her pulled back, I got trailed out. Price action came down a little bit more. And yeah, that was pretty much it on Sunday. I shot one time, got trailed out at break even, and that was it. I did want to take another setup here, but I decided not to. It's the weekly open. Ain't no need to shoot too big too early in the market, especially since I was wanting price action to come back down into this entry right over here. Um, which is where I had another lot increase size right over her. I did end up taking this trade, break even over here, and I missed this one. I'm glad I missed this one because price action did end up coming back down and getting me in, and your boy took profits off in that thing. I will go back and show I think I can. Well, it's already deleted now. But hopefully, as we push through these pictures, you'll be able to see where price action pulled back into this entry, and we got up in there and got active. But just another overview here on this picture. Higher time frames on this was bullish. Hourly was bullish based off of these chart markets, and then we had a little bit of demand right down here that I was looking if price action blew through this 1 hour or this 4H imbalance right over here with this white line going across the screen. Then I was looking for price action to break down inside of this purple box, but we had price action breakdown right at that 4 hour imbalance, and we was in that thing. What is this? UJ? Hold up. Okay, so AU, higher time frame, broad perspective, 4 hourly resistance up top, pushing into the daily support down at the bottom, breaking structure on the hourly chart. So looking for them big buys on AU. 2 weeks ago, I was trying to take these buys right over here, seeing as how I saw price action close above hourly structure. I took buys over here, clapped, took buys over here, clapped, and then once it started doing this and breaking structure that I had marked up on 3 week ago time frames, structure, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna sit back and wait. And I did wait, and I came back and I got active. This is UJ. UJ, we did take buys from right down here. As we continue to click through these, we will see that entry in that setup. But basically, this screenshot here is pretty much outlining 4-hour support up to 4-hour resistance. Currently in a retracement phase, looking to see where price action is going to retrace all the way back down before finding support and shifting the structure. Now, right up in here, I did take that one short on UJ and got clapped. But as price action came down here, like this is just watching. So I'm not taking any trades in between any of this price action right here. Just sitting back and watching to see if we're gonna come back deep within support, or if we're gonna find some type of support within this 1-hour structure slash trend and push back to the top side. Once we saw this price action here, I want to say 2 Fridays ago. Yeah, 2 Fridays ago, price action did this, pushed up into the highs. Last week, weekly open started to come back down, and then we executed from right down here and took buys back up to the top side. But that's just the setup of UJ. UCAD from 2 weeks ago, weekend analysis, we were looking for shorts. Price action, we did end up taking shorts and end up getting clapped. We did push in the profits a good bit, probably about 25 pips. Did not trail the stops. I don't know why I didn't, but I was really hoping on that short to play out, bro. I was really looking for the gas to the downside, but ultimately it was bullish on the forward. So ultimately a retracement trade. Once I saw it pull back and then started to close above where I was looking to take short from, I was like, we're gonna sit back and we're gonna wait and we're gonna watch and we're gonna see what it do. But from what the price action we had, this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I saw a little bit of setup that said if price action closes down here with this yellow indication line is, then we want to see the push, the retest, and then we want to get in based off the retest. What happened? Price action did give that setup. It broke through the zone we were identifying. It was a lower time frame zone. Broke through, pulled back. The pullback never broke the stop loss, never stopped out the trade. And then if I would have got in, then loss over here. Oh, go back. What was that? The hold on. Give me a second. I'll pull it back up. I know way too far. That's me. Right over here. All right, so we did pull back, but a loss over here, and then a missed trade right over here. The missed trade would have definitely made me guess what I was looking for. But yeah, so let's continue to go through. Looking at GU right here. GU last week. GU last week, or yeah, last week, not last week, 2 weeks ago. GU, I had a mean ass setup on GU, but I did not enter because it was market open. It was 5 o'clock when I saw the setup that I wanted to get in, but 5 o'clock spreads is ridiculous. So I did not hop in. We will identify that as we continue to click through these trades, but ultimately we were looking for price action to push back bullish. I don't know based off of this screenshot what price action fell down into right over here with this 4-hour support, but mentally, I believe I saw was this is a 4-hour time frame. So on a 1-hour time frame, there had to be a structural break back to the upside that made me want to start taking these buys. But ultimately, I did hop in one position. Price action started to fumble out, consolidate on the 15-minute time frame. So I trailed the stops because it was Sunday market open real early. It was like 6 o'clock. So break even. This was the entry I wanted at 5 o'clock, but I didn't take it. But I did take another entry like at 6, 7 o'clock. Break even price action started consolidating on a 15-minute push up, push down, trailed me out, and then it eventually got up out of that thing. Sunday, looked like Monday is when it really started to move. Tuesday and so on and so forth. So this will be broken down as we continue to push through. This was the reanalysis structure most recently broken. So this is the range on the 4-hour time frame from the low to the high. Pull back into that hourly support, and we were looking to see if we can take continuation buys back to the top side. Yep, right over here. Asian open. That first trade we got up, then we started to consolidate. So I trailed the stops, got stopped out. This one was still that 5 o'clock entry that I wanted. I should have took it because wham bam caboodle. This was gold. Gold pretty much was consolidating on the 4-hour time frame, so we definitely walked away from it. And if when we go back to the current time frame now, we still consolidating within that 4-hourly range. This was the entries from with Sunday. This was last week's Sunday open. Took those shorts, looking for it to come back down within retracement move, looking for it to come back down, retest area right down and over here. Like I said, price action did come down. I trailed them stops and we got stopped out. See, yep, this is 0.25 where we entered. We got the stops trailed, looking for price action to come down so we can buy or sell to buy to retest the highs. Yep, already trailed out right here. And then at this point, I had then walked away from the screen. I see price action breaking structure on a 15-minute time frame. So mentally, psychologically, I'm looking for price action to continue to go bullish now. So I did end up deleting this limit. But what I did see was price action didn't go bullish. It didn't continue to go bullish after this move right here. And I thought it was, but that thing started to come back down. So guess what? I went and put that entry back in, but I did not put it at that point 50. It was a lower lot, that port 15. Buy limit entry here. Price action came down, entered me in while I was sleeping. I was not on the chart when all this price action played out. Otherwise, I probably would have bumped that lot size back up to that point 50. But ultimately, I wasn't tripping because price action wigged me in, and we went up and smashed up some targets. So right there, we got the wig entry, manipulating that Asian range, that sell to buy, and you see price action just get up out of that thing, and ultimately smash up targets. I didn't capture a picture of price action smashing up targets because I wasn't on the chart. So this was the last picture that I had, the point 15 right down here, stopped at break even for the most part, and we got up out of that thing to the top side. And there's the picture that I had once I got back to the charts. So right here, we're just looking to see, okay, well, prices already retested this 4 hourly high right over here. We did not break, so potentially we could be looking for shorts to come back down right up in this area, right up in here, and see if we can take those buys. Man, I was on AU's ass this week or last week, and or this week right here. Today's Saturday, so it would have been this past Monday through Friday where these trades right here took place. Um, and yeah, so back to the UJ. UJ, remember we were saying price action pushed up 2 Fridays ago, and when market opened this past week, we had a gap on Hanko trade liquidity fee. But when we go back and we look at I think I got it on FXCM or Wanda liquidity fee, there is no gap. It's just one big ass bar that closes right here. So what I was looking for was some buys from the downside. With this entry right here, I was kind of upset simply because I saw price action do this. I saw it come back down. And once price action started to print this bullish candle right here, I started trying to get in. It would not put me into the market. And when it finally did, my entry was way the fuck up here. And I'm like, bro, no. Simply what I was seeing was price action pushed up, created this gap, came back and retested demand. Kind of identified this little demand area right here on the lower time frame, 15-minute, 30-minute, 5 minutes, something like that. Saw the break, the retest, and then started to resume back bullish. So that's what made me want to take those impulse buys. But this candle right here is the candle that I entered on when I was trying to execute, trying to get in, the candle that it finally put me in on. Once I saw this candle finally close, it closed below the low of this bullish candle right here. I got out immediately because I knew it was coming back down. I knew. One thing, if you're new to the market, if you see price action pushing bullish and you wanted to keep going bullish and you're looking for buys, when you see a candle that breaks the low of the previous candle, but you're looking for buys, that's not a good sign. And being in the market long enough, you'll know that. You'll start to pick up on that. And when I saw that as a scalper, I'm out of that thing. So we took that position off. We put buy limits in right down here. Well, we already had the buy limits in right down here. And price came down there and put us in. And we rolled it all the way up to the top to where we pretty much just closed that gap. And I thought I had two positions open, but maybe it was just the one. But yeah, I had original TPs right up in here, but I think I was getting ready to get off the chart to go do something else, go to sleep or something. So I put it where I knew for sure price action could come to. This was the potential if we were switching back to bullish structure. It would have been a new high, higher low, higher high would have been right up in there, testing previous highs looking left. But what ultimately happened, like I said, price action came into close that gap. We got the buy limit entries from way down there. Did take off profits once I saw this week touch that week. Come on, baby. Yeah. Back to it. Did take off profits once price action touched into, pretty much closing that gap. And I've seen a bearish candle starting to print. And I'm glad I did. I ended up trailing the stops right up in here because price action did come all the way back down. This was, what is this? This was AU probably like Tuesday or Wednesday night, June 7th. What night was June 7th? Whatever night, or the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This was Wednesdays. price action right here. What we saw was price action was big bullish, daily support slash demand area, 4-hour resistance, 4-hour support, pushing up, pulling back into 1-hour structure, took buys during the Asian session. As price action pushed, pulled back, tapped into 1-hour support, we took buys as price action shift on the 15-minute. 15-minute during the Asian session on Wednesday. We had price action push, pull back. We got in on the 0.10, somewhere right up in here as price action is making higher highs and higher lows on lower time frames. But then we got this retracement during the Asian session. And guess what? We went down to that smaller time frame, found an area where price push and retest. And as we did this break and retest here, we hopped in on that 0.15 and let that thing skyrocket on up to the top side. The 0.15 target was back into this area where price action flipped and went bearish from the higher time frames. I think we should be able to see it from here. Yeah, so as we were pushing, we broke structure here, and then started to come back into here. So as that 0.15 entry, we had targets right up in there, as you can see in the background. And then the 0.10 entries was way up at like 67,400. Those targets did get smacked. We did hold all. We know we didn't. We got in again. We didn't hold all the way there. I should have. These entries we did not hold for swing positions. We did enter again once price action got back up in here in the market. We will go through all that. But for the most part, I deleted all my charts. I don't have these entries and stuff on there, so that's why I'm breaking it down this way. But ultimately, 0.15 smacked up targets right up there. 0.10 still the entries. At this point in time, 0.15 had smacked TPs, and we still holding that 0.10. We didn't take off profits or break down to 0.10 until we got right up in here, pushing into 4-hour resistance, struggling to break highs looking left. We got right here, break down to that 0.10, let the runner run. This runner got trailed out because we trailed the stops. As I saw, price action was not ready to break that high. And I'm the type of scalper where I don't like to see profit go or price action go way into profit and let it come back down to take any money out of, what I done potentially set up here and looked at the charts and made the money. So it's like, I'm a trail. I like trailing. I like to capture them profits and get my bread and get on about the market. But here, this big ass candle right here is the one that trailed me out as I had stops right up under this low. And so we came back into, this is Thursday night's Asian session. I knew, and I'll show you here in a second, I knew to take initial shorts because we're pushing into 4-hour resistance, not breaking the high looking left. And this price action here kind of shorted off, pulled back, and then shorted off again. I did not take initial shorts. I took initial buys, and I had to sit through a lot of drawdown. But that drawdown did push up and hit that 67,400 way up there overnight. So sent back to the team. I told the team we got the Asian range identified. We're looking to see if we can get a retracement back into this little area, this area here, based off the higher time frames. We did hop into buys, Asian high, Asian low, pullback. I should have took shorts right up in here. The only reason I didn't take shorts because the higher time frames were bullish, and I had no idea how far this was going to come back. Now, if it did come back, then perfect, but it no guarantees. So I had to take the smart trade, take the buys, price action bullish, looking for a continuation buys up to the top side, up to that 67,400. So hopped in the buys early right there. It was the only position I got in because it was Thursday. And yeah, it pushed down during the London session sometime or pre-London. We got that reversal back to the top side. Now, had I taken the shorts, I didn't know what I was going to target. I didn't know where to accurately put the stops because we bullish. We big bullish. We breaking structures looking left, and we making higher highs and higher lows in current time frame, current price action. So it was like, yeah, okay, let's sit back and see where this 0.15 gonna go. Are we gonna smash up some targets? Are we gonna come back and give another retracement? Any of that good stuff? So then, still holding the 0.15s back into the New York session. I was like, I want to take some profits, but I was like, no, I had a goal I wanted to reach for last week, and this trade right here was going to put me at that goal. So I didn't take profits. I trailed the stops like I always like to do. Right here, this stops hadn't been trailed yet. We pushed up a little bit more, came back down, and then pushed up, and then I was able to trail the stops. And price action finally smacked up that target right up there. This is where the trailing stops was. TP at 67,440, and there we is. Price action smacked. We had trailing stops right up under here. Price action never came back to tap into that area or tap into my stops. Once I saw this price action here and then push back up, that's when I trailed the stops to right under here. and then we smacked up targets. And that was pretty much it. Pretty much the trades all right here. We got a 0.25 from the weekly open. Um, we had the GJ buy limit at 0.15. Oh my, gotta go over GJ because I took this trade out of the queue and it went stupid. It went stupid. It went stupid. The UJ buys, the one that I hopped in, that price action would not put me in, and it finally gave me some random ass entry right over here. As soon as that candle started to close and break lows, I hopped out. This was the middle of the range UJ trade that I took. Got manipulated. I'll pull that. I don't think I took a picture of it, but I can pull it up and show it to you. And then just the rest of the AU, just for this week. Not a lot, whole bunch of trades, not a whole lot of positions, but it's a profitable week, and that's what we looking for. We looking to capture that bread. A lot of people, when they see this, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, you made $40, a dollar, $79." It's not about that. It's about finding a way to read and analyze these markets to where you can be profitable. This screen right here, this is a profitable screen. 2 trade losses, the rest of them in blues, taking money out the market to put in my pocket. So if you watching this video and you ain't hitting to where you can take money out of the market to put in your pocket, then you need not worry about the value or the wins. You need to worry about the entries, the exits, and how to potentially manage the trades. This week we have dropped the analysis. We won't go through all those just yet. So let's click over to UJ real quick, and I'm gonna show you where I took that middle of the range trade. Where we at? Right over her. So we're gonna bump down on Buddy on a 15-minute. So where we at? Right up here. Okay, so this is where, make sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah. So this is where price action came down, and we closed that gap. And price action, what we at? Yeah, that's it. No, this is it right over here. See, it looked funny because there's no gap on here, but on Henkel trade, it was a damn sure gap. I think this is it right over here. I remember this is it. Yeah. So we was looking right over here was the gap. Monday took the buys from down here. Um, Gap closed right over here, captured those profits as this week touched into that week. The next day we took buys from like right over here and got stopped out somewhere like this. And then price action ended up going where we was wanting to go. I think I got pictures of that actually. Maybe I don't. But yeah, we took some middle of the range trades on UJ and got smacked. But this was the week that ended up taking me out. Stops were below here. We got stopped out and price action pushed bullish. But what I was seeing was ultimately we're still within that retracement phase. We're still within that retracement phase, even though price action pushed up here, came back down. Yeah, this was the gap. This is where I got trailed out. Yep, and then price action pushed up. I can't believe I didn't take a picture of that because I had buys from like right up in here. Price action came down. I trailed the stops, and then we got wicked out, and it went where it was supposed to go. But yeah, ultimately retracing here. Price action from the on our hourly, we got the low support, we got the high resistance, and we're just trading or ranging within that range or consolidating within that range. So ultimately, I ain't looking for too much nothing on UJ right now. I want to see where it pushes because ultimately we consolidate. We ultimately still retracing. If we bump out to the higher time frames, we can do a little top down right now. On the daily, we bullish. Let me clear all that. On the daily, when you compress price action like this and you can see a little bit more of the data, we were right here, we were bears, big bears, lower lows and lower highs, breaking structures right over here, yada, yada, yada. Right over here is where we kind of shifted the trend. This is on a daily time frame, so that's a lot of time moving in between there from that low to that high. And we were breaking structures looking left, so identify daily, high, low, higher high. In the analysis back, we were bullish on the daily, I do believe, that had not created a structural top just yet. 4 hourly, we're making higher highs and higher lows. As we zoom that thing on out a little bit, we can see higher low on the higher time frames, higher high, higher low, higher high. But on the daily structure, we got highs and lows all the way back up into here. So this was the last high that price action broke, I want to say 2 weeks ago, high to the low, higher high. And so as we look at this price action, as we go down to the lower time frames, we say, okay, what is price actually currently doing? Where are we currently at within the market? What's going on in the higher time frames? What's going on in the lower time frames? And we just put these chart markers on here, tell us higher low, higher high. For our order block, you can kind of see it a little bit better on the daily. Price action pushes up here. You got this little doji candle. Make it bigger for all the people in the back. Got a little doji candle right here that we're identifying as that 4-hour block. As we see price action push bullish, come back to that area, put on the brakes. We pushed up, we did not break the high, so we came back, tested that order block again, put on the brakes. The thing that would make me nervous about UJ is we tapped into this area here, we pushed up, didn't make a high, came back and tapped into it again, and then we closed on Friday. It still had not made a new high, so the back of my mind is kind of telling me maybe we want to come down a little bit more and grab a little bit whatever else is in the market and then push back bullish. So as we bring the analysis back, looking at the 4-hour time frame, we got that 4-hour support area pushing into that 4-hour resistance area. We got that order block identified here. Price action pushed up. Price action tapping into that order block did cause a shift of structure right over here. So I think this is what's causing us to range on the 1-hour time frame. So right now, we're ranging somewhat bearishly on the 1 hour. So we just waiting for price action to break out and give us a true direction. Right now, bullish on the daily, bullish on the 4-hour, 1 hour consolidating, and 15-minute is bearish. So we want to kind of wait until, if the 4 hour is bullish, we want to wait until that 1 hour and that 15-minute kind of is starting to get ready to line up bullish for us before we start taking buys. Otherwise, we could get caught in this range, taking buys, price come back down, taking shorts, price push back up, and still not break either one of these zones and still lose on that position. So we waiting on UJ to see what we're gonna do this week. Clicking over to AU, move out to that weekly time frame. If you'd watched any of my videos prior to this one, you know we were identifying a weekly order block. This is what we were saying that is what was causing price action to push bearish. Not a weekly, but a daily order block. This was that little doji candle right up in there. We saw that every time price action touched into that little doji candle, we had a breaker structure looking left, but we also noticed that price immediately returned and broke structure back to the top side. So this was probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. We had that last touch into that area, breaker structure looking left, and now we're doing the same thing as all this price action did, was return right back into that area where price action came from. So ultimately, we're still identifying bearish on the daily. Why? Because the last real break of structure on the daily time frame was bearish. So we got the high to the low. We bring the analysis back. We got the high to the low on the daily time frame. We bump down to that 4 hour. What we can see is that high to that low. But on the 4 hour time frame, we are flipping and going back bullish. So the bullish, the structure on the 4 hour time frame has rolled over to being bullish. The structure on the daily is still somewhat bearish until we close above this high. So right here, we got a 4 hour support area that's pushing into supply that's caused price action to leak all the way back down here. So we, or me for the most part, just waiting to see the reaction from price action pushing into the supply. If price action opens up this week and start to reject this area right up here, or if it pushes even higher and start to reject, because we got a different, I was kind of back and forth on how to mark this supply right here because of this funky ass price action over here. So I got this zone here with the purple box, and then I got a bigger zone outlined here. So we could potentially even, what happened? Delete. We could potentially even see price action pull deeper within this bigger supply area right up in here, and then see if it comes back down. If and only if price action breaks this 1 hour support, will I be looking to say, okay, maybe we are getting ready to start the retracement phase from this low back up into this would be now created new high right back up in here. If you don't know much about trading, or if you haven't been in the market that long, that can be sort of confusing at this point because you're trying to predict versus looking at what price action is actually doing. So for me, I like to put out all potential scenarios that I could potentially run into once the week comes up. But right now, currently price action is bullish. I would not take a trade on AU right now because it's in an expansion phase. It's pushing into supply, which could cause a reaction back to the downside, but we don't know that just yet. Seeing as how price action is bullish, I would assume that it would continue to go bullish, but like I said, pushing into supply, you can give you mixed results. So the best thing would be to wait on AU as well. If price action wants to go bearish, first structural point looking to be broken to potentially start the retracement phase is right up in here at this 1 hour support. So potential breakout sales below 66,925. That's what I'll be looking for. Otherwise, I'll be looking for the best bullish scenario once price action started to pull back. If we don't break this 1 hour support low, I will be looking to take it back to the top side. Targets on this, if we do continue to go bullish, target maintain, I would have to break all of this price action down to potentially have some targets, but that's a far way away. So I got a little bit of time before price action get way back up there. But the first thing I'm looking for to do is attack these highs, get a reaction, and then look for continuations. Once we break through all this, then I'll be able to go back and say confidently, yeah, it's not a waste of time. Price action is going bullish. We need to look and see where price action wants to go continually. And then yeah, we just get active that way. But ultimately, right now, AU daily on we identifying bearish daily structure, 4 hours bullish structure, 1 hour's bullish as well, 15 minutes bullish as well. So we're gonna see. We gonna see. Pushing over to UCAD, did not take any action on UCAD, was not comfortable with any of this price action right here. On the daily time frame, we are identifying bullish from the low to the high. On the 4 hour time frame, we had the last real structure break right over here. Is this retracement phase on the daily time frames, higher highs and higher lows, breaking structure here, come back down, did not break the low, and went to retest the highs, did not break the highs, still hasn't broken the low. So ultimately consolidating on the 4 hour time frame, bearish on the 1 hour time frame. The 15 minute is also somewhat bearish. So I don't really know exactly what I want to see on UCAD just yet. If I want to start framing or looking for buys, I would like to see price action close above that area where I just marked off right here. Probably about 34, 635 for all the people in the back. But yeah, outside of that, it's definitely a damn waiting game on UCAS because we higher time frame consolidating and you can get whacked any type of ways. This could continue to go bearish and just go bearish and go bearish. But for intraday scalp setups, quick in and out the market moves, I would need price action to show me some more direction because right now I ain't got a bunch of nothing. So coming into next week, I would like to see if we give any bullish reaction, break above this price action right up in here. I would wait for that retest, and then I would definitely take buys, targeting structures to the left, ultimately looking to see if we're going to break um, higher time frame highs. Why would I be looking for that? Because price action is pushing into demand looking left. It hasn't reached on this, push right now. This last tap here did reach into demand. And look at the big ass reaction. So we could see one more tap into that demand and see what's gonna happen. But at this point, it's a waiting game for me on UCAD. GU, yeah, man. GU, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got out. But yeah, higher time frame. Let's see what we got. Higher time frame is big, big, big bullish. Man, way down here that pushed you all the way into the highs right up in here. Price action broke counter trend structures right over here. So we got this identified as supply that pushed us down in this area. And now we're back into that area where price action leaped from last time. So we're looking to see, just like on AU, if price action is going to give a bearish reaction and start coming back to the downside. Now, first structural point we're looking to see to be broken right over here, this 125, 335, to see if we can start that retracement phase and come back down potentially into this 4 hour support. And then if we break, we can have continuation sales all the way back down into daily demand looking left. So that is a huge ass range. You just look at all that blank space, a lot of space to get active within the market. No need to rush on GU right now. Like I said, currently pushing into supply. So, you can sit back and wait. Intraday lower time frame type of deal. We had the previous higher low, higher high, new higher low, higher high. So we're looking to see if we come back. If we break here, then potentially we could have a retracement phase of this impulsive move into the highs here, or expansion move, so the impulsive expansion move, retracement move, and then potentially see if it's going to go back to the top side. But ultimately, right now, 4 hour resistance still has not been created as we don't see any break instructions on the lower time frame just yet. Daily time frame is bullish, 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish. Yeah, so we just sitting back and waiting to see what price action is going to give us on GU. Weekly open GU. Let me see if I can point out that area where I was trying to get in, but I didn't get in because it was 5 o'clock. Let me see. Is that right? GU. The That was 2 weeks ago. Wait, was it? Yeah, it had to be 2 weeks ago because this would have been last week's price action over here. So Sunday, May 23rd. Oh, Sunday, May 28th. Click over to that. May 28th. So we way back here with it. Yeah. All right. So as price action came and opened up here, started making higher highs and higher lows, I think this is the point where I wanted to hop in. Let's see what time this is. Oh, hell no, that's New York. So it might have been right here. Oh, it was like 5 o'clock, something I saw. So it had to be something up here. It was like, I remember looking at the clock and it was like 5:25. And I was like, damn. I think this is what it was. Price pushed back above that origination point right over here, pulled back, and then got up out of there. So this is what I was looking at. May 28th. I wanted this position right here. I had stops right beneath this 4 hourly support. Big 34 pip stop. And then I would have been targeting this here first, right back into structure. And like I said, we was looking for these buys because price action broke structure on the hourly first. So lower high, lower low, came back, give you a higher high, failed to create the new lower low right up in here. As we saw price action open up 2 weeks ago, come back down and not break this low, then that's what made me start looking for these buys. Ultimately, look at how far that thing pushed. I was only targeting here and then probably here next as the previous 4 hour structure, but ultimately that thing got up out of there. 250 of them things to the top side. So, yeah. And then last week I was not messing around with GU. I did have a support area drawn up right up in here, but as price action closed below, I was like, I don't feel like, doing all that break retest, reanalyzing simply because I was getting active on AU and we were winning on AU. So I didn't feel the need or have the time to come over here and reanalyze, break down, and then see why I potentially could have got in there. But this was a trade that was missed. I did, like I said, executed on one trade. Um, Once it started consolidating right up in here, I trailed the stops, got in, pushed above, trailed the stops, got trailed out, and then they continued to get active. But currently, right now, still making higher highs and higher lows on a higher time frame, has pushed back into higher time frame supply. So right now, we just waiting to see, do we get price action to continue to go bullish, or do we fizzle out within this um, higher time frame supply and then come back down and start the retracement phase? If we get closes below 23,680, then potentially market could be getting ready to shift bearish to ultimately start the daily time frame retracement phase, come all the way back down. And that's GU. Clicking over to GJ. Of course, I missed on fucking GJ too. I had this was the deleted entry that I had on GJ because I thought price action took off without me, so I deleted the entry out of the queue right over here. This buy limit at 73,083. Should be right there, 73,079 on here. But ultimately, price action did come back down into that area. What I saw was this here from the weekly open, tap, come back, close above structure, looking for the retracement back into an area right back over here. I had stops below previous 1 hour support. See how much drawdown we would have had right here. 40 pips. Oh, know how I feel about that drawdown. So hopefully, if that drawdown would have taken place during the London session while I would have been asleep, then I would have been okay. But I probably would have woke up and seen back in drawdown again. But ultimately, it played out. It went where I thought it was gonna go, but it is what it is. It got deleted, so I didn't have to go through any heart attacks right there. But current price action right now, 4 hour resistance has not been created. 1 hour resistance has not been created. An expansion phase on a higher time frame. So this push all is one push for me. I'm waiting to see where price action starts to come back down and start to break structure looking left to potentially call the new 4 hour resistance or 1 hour resistance, or I think we already got a daily resistance. Um, 4 hour support or the daily support. No, we don't have a daily resistance either. All we got is the area that we're targeting looking left. So um bring it back to where we can see everything. Back to that hourly. So current price action is currently pushing higher, making higher highs and higher lows. We have broken previous 1 hour support. 1 hour, we have broken previous 1 hour resistance. We have created 1 hour support that has pushed you all the way up into these highs. So we're looking to see if price action breaks through this 15-minute zone we got identified here, then potentially we could start that retracement phase for this hourly range. And then it would look like this. This would be the new hourly support somewhere right up in here. We could potentially delete this or kind of keep it to identify the previous range, new range low, new range high, retracement phase, some way back down in here. Hopefully we can get a deep pullback to take new buys from down here. all the way back up into a spot like something like this, enter from somewhere down there. That would be optimal where we would like to get in. Pretty much stops would go right below that 1 hour support, and then that would pretty much be what I would like to get into. Now, if price action doesn't open up this week and look like it's going to give me an entry from down here, then I will adjust. I will hop in on something else. I probably can take shorts back into that level. I can do a lot, but it all depends on what price action shows and sets up as once the market opens. So it's always good to come in on the charts on the weekends and try to identify places and areas of where you think price action is going to go to or come back to before potentially going in the direction you want. And that potentially can help you from getting into bad trades. It can potentially help build that psychology to say, okay, Saturday I was watching, I knew I wanted price action to come all the way back down here. Well, it's Wednesday. Well, guess what? Shit, price action and leaked. We had some news events that pushed our way price action back down here. And now that it then got back down here now on Wednesday, on Thursday, it started doing this shit right here. So once it came down one more time, I hopped in. And guess what happened? We smashed up targets. So I mean, like I said, weekend analysis can be used for that right there. Um, but you just have to remember that once price action open back up on Monday, then if you do something weird, do something different, either reanalyze or just stay out the market. But that's what we're looking for on GJ. Looking for continuation buys. We got imbalanced areas down here on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. And yeah, we just gonna see what it do. Looking over to gold. Ultimately, I feel like gold is consolidating on the 4 hour time frame still. Um, I don't really think this is a valid supply area because we didn't break the ultimate structure, but we did break some structure. So that's why we got to identify it as a supply area. We're looking to see if price action taps back in and sends back bearish. Ultimately, on a 4 hour time frame, consolidating. I think the daily is still bullish. And yeah, pretty much not much to analyze on gold. We did get a break of structure on a 15-minute time frame, but it's 1 hour 1 hour resistance. So what I want to see is price action trickle back down, right back in up here where this price action started from to push up and potentially tap into those new highs. But um, yeah, we're gonna have to see. Once price action get back down here to this little area, we got to identify as 1 hour imbalance. Then potentially we could look to see if price action comes down and starts to roll over and show us something sexy on the lower time frames, and then get in on one of these higher low points right down here, and then try to take the market back bullish. Why would I be looking for buys? Daily time frame is identifying bullishly for me. As this is a low that pushed up and gave us the high retracement phase, find support, then potentially could be going back to retest these daily highs right up in here. Um, Another potential scenario on gold. If we break below this 1931 920, then potentially could be looking for price action to come back down to fill imbalance that we have on the daily time frame, smack back up in there, look to see if we can get price action to roll back over to then, you know, start trying to take buys from. But like I said, it always depends on how price action sets up for you. Like I said, it's always good to come on here and draw these analyses and these predictions, but if price action is not lining up to that prediction that you thought you had, stay out. Because it's not worth it, my friend. If we come on here and I look at AU and I say I look for continuation of bias, and price action comes down and then it breaks and it just keeps going, and I say, okay, let me reanalyze the charts, friends, and see how I can get active. So did not really have a whole bunch of FOMO last week. I think I don't know. It just wasn't in me. I was ready to increase them lot sizes. Unfortunately, I didn't um, capture as much as I could have from increased lots, but we ran with the lower lots and still made profit. So it is what it is. We will look to see if we can increase lot size again this week. I don't know that I would start the week off increasing lot size because some of my analysis are pushing into areas where you can get conflicted results. So it ain't until I see price action continue to do some trend and moving like this that I want to increase those lot size. So if we get into consolidation or flip flopping around on the charts, then yeah, hold off and wait. But I think that's pretty much all I got for this one. Um, Pretty much probably gonna be looking to shoot on AU, UJ, GU, and gold this week. What's up, bro? I'm about to close it off right now. But yeah, yeah, pretty much looking to shoot on AU, UJ, GU and gold this week. The rest of them is probably sit back and wait type action and see what price action gonna do for me. Outside of that, that's probably about all I got for y'all. Definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Probably will be getting more. Well, I can't tell you that I'm gonna be getting more videos out this coming up week because my birthday is coming up, and I do think I will be away from the charts for about a week or two. So we gonna see, but we do got that weekend analysis for your ass right here. Potentially, we'll be trading Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. Going into Thursday, I might be away from the charts. Don't know if I'll be able to sit down and have time to do this all the way until next Sunday. So, yeah, and that's pretty much just what it is. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If you got questions, hit them. But outside of that, I'm out of there, baby. I'm out the slide. Big booty holes, ENT in the building. We in there. We gonna holler at y'all boys.